Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. I am super excited to have you here today. We're going to be doing an objective teardown of a really fascinating new AI publishing tool that is just blowing up right now. We'll be peeling back the glossy marketing to see what's actually under the hood and comparing those claims against some hard data from a completely independent review. So if you've ever even toyed with the idea of publishing online, you're definitely going to want to stick around for this one.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to start by just imagining something for a second. What if the absolute greatest literary minds in history, someone like Edgar Allan Poe or Jane Austen, could literally pull up a chair at your desk and ghostwrite your next book, specifically tailored to your own ideas? It's a pretty provocative thought, right? It totally hooks the imagination. And well, that's exactly the big premise behind the software we're breaking down today.
But hey, before we get swept up in the tech, let's talk about the cold, hard reality of the publishing business. If you actually went out today and tried to hire a decent human fiction ghostwriter for a standard Kindle novella, you're looking at $500 to $2,000. That's a massive, crushing upfront cost for just a single niche test. I mean, that price tag alone kills the dream for most indie publishers before they even hit the publish button.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why people are still so desperate to crack this market. You look at the official Amazon bestseller lists, and it turns out readers aren't just hunting for these massive 1,000-page fantasy epics. No, they are happily paying real money, 99 cents or $1.99 for 90-minute short reads. Right now, today, the demand for bingeable, short-form fiction is absolutely real.
Seriously, to really put that massive market size into perspective, just take a look at the second spot on this chart. That is one single short story sitting there with over 124,000 ratings. Let that sink in for a second. That kind of rating volume, that translates to a market measured in the millions of downloads. The paying customers are absolutely out there. The real million-dollar question is just how you get your book in front of them without going completely bankrupt in the process. So according to the creators of our featured product, aspiring authors basically run into three massive walls. First, there's the dreaded blank page. Just staring at a blinking cursor for weeks on end. Second, as we just saw, is that brutal ghostwriter quote. But it's that third wall that is arguably the most dangerous one right now, the AI slop trap. People are out there using these generic AI tools, mass uploading flat robotic text, and Amazon is actively bringing down the hammer, suspending KDP accounts left and right for undisclosed, low-effort AI slop.
Section 1. Meet the Author's Forge, shattering the walls with legendary voices.
So how does this new browser-based AI studio actually pull this off? Well, the tool features what they call 8 story architects. Since legendary authors like Edgar Allan Poe or Arthur Conan Doyle are in the public domain, this studio claims they've actually modeled their AI writing engines on those exact styles. So instead of getting that generic, soulless chatbot tone, you're supposedly borrowing a distinct, trusted voice. You get Poe's gothic dread or Austen's snappy Regency wit, all applied to your specific storyline.
Section 2. How the studio works. From idea to publish ready in days.
The whole pitch here is that this tool takes you from a rough idea to a completely publish-ready story in a matter of days. They claim you can build up this lucrative backlist in record time using a super streamlined 3-step pipeline. Step 1, you just pick your legendary voice. Step 2, you answer 6 incredibly simple questions in plain English. Literally just who, what, where, when, why, and how. That's it. And honestly, this next claim is pretty wild. The engine reportedly takes those answers and spits out a complete chapter-by-chapter story plan in about 20 seconds. Then, step 3, you jump in and generate the text. You can have it auto-write the whole thing for you, co-write it with you, or just use it to polish up your own drafts.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that the studio goes way beyond just the writing part. It actually generates fully diverse, published-ready cover art tailored to different niches. Whether you're doing a cozy mystery or a sci-fi short, it spits out the artwork right there, completely bypassing the need for a graphic designer. It's basically pitched as a whole publishing house packed into one platform. Section 3. The KDP Compliance Shield, protecting your account from the ban wave.
Now, the fear of waking up to find your Amazon KDP account permanently banned for AI usage, that is a very real nightmare for publishers right now. So this might actually be the software's strongest selling point. They built a compliance wizard directly into the export process. It scans every single manuscript for plagiarism red flags. But honestly, the bigger deal is that it generates the exact AI disclosure text that Amazon demands, and it literally walks you through checking the correct declaration boxes on Amazon's backend.
Since skipping that little checkbox is the #1 reason accounts are getting nuked right now, having this safeguard baked right in is absolutely huge.
Section 4. The real price tag. The independent reviewed data.
All right, here's where we need to make a bit of a narrative turn. We've looked at all the glossy sales promises, but the independent review data, pulled by Arsh Kapoor over at ClickRetina, reveals a pretty major discrepancy. The marketing aggressively pushes this bold $17 once price tag. And sure, it is technically true that you get the core front-end software for $17. But the reviewer data uncovers a totally different reality if you actually want all the features. The fully loaded sales funnel will actually run you $188.
So let's break down exactly what those hidden costs look like. Arsh Kapoor's review dug into the specific one-time offers, or OTOs, that pop up right after you've already entered your credit card. You're hit with a $37 Vault expansion, a $97 premium toolkit, and a $27 quarterly subscription for an architect club. Let's be real, hidden funnels are just incredibly frustrating, so it's absolutely vital to understand that the true cost of this software totally depends on how deep down this upsell rabbit hole you're willing to go.
The independent review also flagged another pretty important detail. Thu Thao and Pintu Bachar, they are a brand new vendor pairing on the Warrior Plus platform. Now look, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Everyone has to start somewhere, right? But it does mean there is zero prior launch history or long-term track record to back up their massive success claims against. You're definitely taking a bit of a leap of faith on newer developers here, so you just need to proceed with some caution.
There was also a slightly concerning, if not entirely classic, administrative oops moment caught during the review. The original joint venture affiliate link that the creators gave out, it actually pointed to a completely unrelated product from a totally different vendor pair. Now, they fixed it pretty quickly, but it definitely hints at a bit of sloppiness behind the scenes, which is something any smart buyer should keep in mind. But hey, to be completely fair and balance out the critique here, the review also highlighted a really solid positive. The Author's Forge offers a very clean, straightforward, and buyer-friendly 30-day money-back guarantee that effectively protects your initial $17 investment. If you test it out and it just spits out that flat AI slop they promised to save you from, you've got a full 30 days to easily get your money back. No harm, no foul.
Section 5. Is it worth it? Weighing the utility against the marketing.
So what's the final verdict here? Is this thing actually worth your time? Well, we really have to weigh the genuine utility of the tool against the realities of the sales copy and that hidden funnel math. On the plus side, modeling public domain voices is genuinely a smart differentiator against generic AI, and that built-in KDP compliance wizard, that solves a massive pain point today. But on the downside, the unstated $178 funnel math is a bummer, and the total lack of a creator track record definitely means you should tread lightly. If you're still on the fence, here's a quick pre-purchase checklist for you. Number 1, know that the $17 front end really is complete on its own. You absolutely don't have to buy the upsells. Number 2, just be fully aware of that $17, $88 total funnel math going in. Number 3, remember you own the commercial rights to the books you make, but you cannot resell the software itself. And finally, look, this is just a tool. It's not a get-rich-quick lottery ticket. A $17 niche test beats a $2,000 ghostwriter any day of the week, but you still have to roll up your sleeves and do the actual publishing work. Which really leaves us with one final provocative question to chew on. As tools like the Author's Forge get more and more sophisticated at perfectly modeling legendary prose, is AI going to fundamentally redefine what it actually means to be an author? Or is it simply redefining the financial cost of entry for everyday people who just want to share a good story? It's a wildly fascinating shift in the publishing industry, and it's one we are for sure going to be watching closely. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.